Welcome to another Versus video. This is Versus video part 2. Fatal Fury 2 versus Super Street Fighter on the Sega Mega Drive / Sega Genesis. Let's find out who wins this time around. Let's start off with talking about the graphics on Fatal Fury 2. Okay, once again on the Fatal Fury game, I'm really impressed with the color palette and how they use the color schemes on the Sega Mega Drive. Now, the sprites are really good as well. The characters are really big, as it should be in a 2D fighting game. And I'm also impressed that you can actually go behind the scenery in the background on Fatal Fury 2 as well. One is really impressive for a Sega Mega Drive game, and you can also smash the background as well. So the graphics are really impressive on Fatal Fury 2. I think the backdrops are also very impressive, very big and very detailed, and you get the movement in the background from people and other things as well. So the graphics on Fatal Fury 2 are really impressive, and I can highly rate the graphics in this game. So let's talk about the graphics on Super Street Fighter 2. Okay, so the graphics on Super Street Fighter 2, well, I'm not impressed at all. I think in some respects they're even worse than the original Street Fighter 2, what was ported to the Sega Mega Drive, and I don't see much of an improvement. And the real big letdown on this is it boasts to be a 24 meg card. I don't see it. I don't see the 24 megs in this game at all. I think it's actually equally as good as graphics, or if not worse at graphics, than the original Street Fighter 2 on the Sega Mega Drive. So I'm not impressed with this at all. The sprites are very small as they were in the original Street Fighter 2. Detail wise, there's no sign of 24 megs being used on this game at all, in my opinion. I mean, I just don't like the graphics on this at all. So the overall win on graphics will go to Fatal Fury 2, because the graphics on that are actually decent and they have improved from the original game, unlike Super Street Fighter 2. So let's talk about the sound quality, and we're starting off with Fatal Fury 2. I'm actually impressed with the sound quality on Fatal Fury 2. The voices again are not that great, but they're not that bad neither. I think they've improved a little bit from the first game, and I quite like the sound quality. They've improved the hitting sound as well, so I think the sound effects have also improved. Yeah, so I'm really impressed with the sound. I think the music on all the stages are good, and there's nothing really to complain about the sound on Fatal Fury 2. It's a good sounding game, and I've previously said it's a good looking game, so I'm pretty happy with the sound of Fatal Fury 2. So let's now talk about the sound on Super Street Fighter 2. So the sound on Super Street Fighter 2, and remember we're using 24 megs on this game, and all they've done is worse than the sound quality. The sound quality is appalling. The voices sound worse than the original. It's absolutely horrible sound on this game. Even the music doesn't sound as good anymore. So this game is a complete letdown. And I remember it being really expensive back in the day as well. So overall, the sound on this game is horrible. The graphics, as I said previously, are horrible. It's not really looking good for Super Street Fighter 2. And the win goes to Fatal Fury 2 for sound. So let's go on to gameplay and talk about Fatal Fury 2. Fatal Fury 2 has improved on the gameplay on Fatal Fury 1 in all aspects, to be honest. It's quicker, and you get the option of actually having a fast mode now, and a normal mode, and a slow mode. So they've actually added a fast mode to it, which improves the gameplay as well. I think the moves are a lot easier to get out on Fatal Fury 2, and it just handles better than the original Fatal Fury. So overall, everything that you wanted to improve from the first game, they have improved in Fatal Fury 2, so the gameplay is really impressive. As I said, you can even go behind the scenery now on Fatal Fury 2 and smash the background up as well. So overall the gameplay is impressive. I think they've added 10 times more moves to the characters, so you get like 4 special moves on each character minimum, if not more. So they've added more characters to the game as well. The game selection mode on the one player you can actually select more than 3 characters compared to the original, so they've improved on that as well. So yeah, I'm overall really happy with Fatal Fury 2. I think it's a really good improved game from the original one, and I quite like the gameplay immensely. I think it's really easy to pick up and play, the moves are really easy to get out, and it's nowhere near as juddery or as slow as the original, because they've added the fast mode to it as well. And it's just a lot smoother than the original game, so I'm really happy with Fatal Fury 2 gameplay. So now let's talk about Super Street Fighter 2. So, the gameplay on Super Street Fighter 2, well, let's be honest about this. The gameplay has slowed down rapidly from the original Street Fighter 2 on the Sega Mega Drive. There's no hyper mode on it anymore. So the slow pace is noticeable anyway. Has it improved from the original? No, it's got worse. In my opinion, a lot worse. They've added more characters to it, so you can now go to like countries like the UK and stuff like that, and Jamaica. But really, there's not much improvement on this game at all in gameplay. The gameplay is pretty much similar to the original Street Fighter 2. Well, it's not a bad thing because the original Street Fighter 2 was awesome, but they've slowed the game down. They've slowed the game down, and it's not as fast or as smooth as the original. So the gameplay has actually took a step back. So therefore, I'm giving the gameplay also to Fatal Fury 2. So let's go to the overall winner if you don't already know who it is. So the winner on this versus video is Fatal Fury 2 from SNK. It literally improves all of the aspects from the original game, and the graphics were much improved as well, and the sound was also improved. Unlike Super Street Fighter 2, where it seemed to took a step back on pretty much all aspects, where Fatal Fury 2 improved on all aspects, making it the better game. And for the price tag that you had to pay for Super Street Fighter 2, well, I think it was £60 because of the 24 meg, I would much rather have purchased Fatal Fury 2 any day of the week. They both released in 1994, and Fatal Fury 2 comes out on top. So they're both good games, don't get me wrong, but if you got the original Street Fighter 2 on the Sega Mega Drive, don't bother wasting your money and paying for Super Street Fighter 2, it's not worth it. If you got the original Fatal Fury, then go out there and purchase Fatal Fury 2 because it's a much better game and it's much improved on all aspects, and it's a real joy to play because the moves are 10 times easier to get out, and the sprites are really big as well, so it's a glory to look at. And Fatal Fury 2 is an awesome game, and it wins on this versus video. Thank you for watching, see you next time for some more videos.